Hey everybody, welcome back to Stone Face Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here to watch some Gundam 00, the movie. It is just the movie, right?
Well, no, it has a name.
Does it? A Awakening of the Trailblazer.
Which I guess is weird because I thought it was Awakening of the Trailblazer, but it is literally, at least as I've seen it typed, Awakening of the Trailblazer.
Well, either way, we are awake and conscious for this, but before we get into the movie, let's talk about some comments that people had from, the rest of the series. Starting with Sid's in Actual in response to A New Return. I'm going to agree that I never liked how Trans Am because the plot device to just win or get the team out of sticky situation. It was fine in season 1 when they were vulnerable after it ran and enemies exploited that, but by season 2 it's hardly a problem. They just keep fighting through the hordes of enemies. The Gundams are so OP at this point that there's no tension. And you know what? At least the scene in G Witch was the culmination of an arc that showed Elin breaking out of his creepy shell and actually wanting to come to terms with mortality and trying to help someone he saw worth saving and was not defined by Gundam piloting a Gundam. Anu's death scene is lazy right eating through and through. Our god Setsuna just saves the day in time. It's emotionally manipulative because the show tells you that you should be sad. See how sad the music is. Look at how they embrace each other. They can't be together. There's absolutely no payoff. Where did Anu come from? She just showed up in CB. How did she meet Lyle? What personal moments did they share? We never saw them develop their relationship and were force-fed this melodramatic nonsense. I used to really dislike Gundam Wing because of how campy and cringe it felt, but after rewatching it, I find even Relina is more tolerable than this crap. Double O still stands as one of the most disappointing Gundam shows because they started off with such a strong premise, then squandered all of their ideas.
I think obviously you should be the one to respond first, Griff.
All right. So, if I were to go ahead and just like put into my brain like what do I think of Lyle's relationship here? It's that Lyle and Anu are the two only sexually active members on the ship. Sumeragi is definitely among them, but she's too busy drinking. And so that's their natural chemistry.
Well, I
Everyone else is kind of very
just to
unavailable.
step in, I don't think Sumeragi is sexually active on the ship.
That is true. She's on the job. She's drinking on the job, but she's on the job, right?
Well, I just mean that all of her partners that she would be sexually active with are not on that ship, especially in season 2.
When it comes down to like each of the characters and their romances, we obviously do not spend a lot of time on them. But it's fine. I think at least Lyle and Anu had at least some sort of chemistry or something going, slightly more than like other characters seem to on like a friendship level. Because sometimes it does feel like these characters should be talking to each other in a positive tone. It's like, but why? I think it's fine. It's obviously not like Romeo and Juliet here, but it's fine. It's good. I at least felt there was some payoff there. What do you think?
Oh, is that your whole thought about the whole thing?
I mean, I got more stuff, but let's go ahead and start breaking it down. We got a lot to go over.
Well, I mean, I guess the answer to the whole thing is it's not that kind of show.
Mm-hmm.
Gundam 00 is more about the big picture and fights. I mean, I think I've made it pretty obvious in the episode 23, 24 comments that I made about the obvious narrative pulls to just remove characters
Mm-hmm.
in mass from the narrative so that we can end the show focusing on specific things. But, I mean, here's the thing. Obviously, I'm going to agree with a lot of these comments, even though in the comment section, a lot of our frequent watchers came in to point out how stupid of a take this was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm afraid, I'm sorry, this is my take. It's my take as well, as it has been throughout the show, that this isn't the kind of show that you watch for characters. This is the kind of show that you watch for Gundam fights. I paused a little bit there because it's like for Gundam fights. Well, not really your typical Gundam fights because we got GN particles and shit, and it really makes it
Right, which
almost
goes
a
back to like the first part of the comment here, which is like eventually Trans Am is so powerful that there's no more tension.
What show did we do? Was it yesterday that we had the commentary about plot armor? Was that yesterday? Was that
Um,
Vinland Saga? We were talking about this.
I think we were, yeah. We were like, obviously the main character probably isn't going to die because the series is based around what they're going through.
Right, right. And I was saying something about how narrative, not narrative, any tension related to loss or combat or anything doesn't mean anything if you put yourself into a show where the main character has plot armor. And certain shows do good about subverting it, like Jujutsu Kaisen, where very early in the first season it appears as though our main character has died. And it's like, even if he doesn't die, that he can lose that hard, it's still a change from so many shows that we watch that it's interesting in and of itself. Versus a
Right.
show like this, where, hell, even if it looks like they've died, they come back the next season. So,
Right. And I think when it comes down to that, when it comes to like writing a story or fight with tension, there need to be other stakes than just the main character is going to die. Other people could get hurt. The main character could get hurt or injured. We did at least have an arc with Setsuna with an arm injury. At least that was something,
well,
right?
that's why I said
Or like they could
86.
fail their
That's why I
objective.
said 86 was so interesting. I don't care
Mhm.
that the Undertaker is such an unbeatable, amazing fighter in his mech. The
Mhm.
people around him are dying, and that's what's affecting him.
Yeah, can the main character save everyone else? Is sort
It,
of that dilemma.
I think we've mentioned it before as the Superman problem. It's like, how do you fight Superman? You don't. You threaten everything else around him.
Mhm.
I mean, that's how
So I
injustice starts.
So I think the only last part of that is so what are your final opinions on Relina?
Well, I mean, there's still a lot in this comment. I mean, I guess it comes down to the fact that G-Witch was more about characters, and
Hmm.
Gundam 00 doesn't touch on the characters nearly as much as G-Witch did,
Hmm.
and people piss all over G-Witch for some reason because it's copying everything every other Gundam does, except for the fact that every other Gundam also copies every other Gundam.
I
But
think we literally were talking about Gundamisms all throughout Double O here. We even like were comparing princesses. If we're at that point, they're copying a lot.
yeah, so I mean, it doesn't care. I don't. It doesn't matter to me if they're copying, right? All I'm
Yeah.
gonna do is eventually see the thing it's copying from, and then I'm gonna judge: is this better than the other thing I saw? And if it is, cool. If it's not, oh well, right? So
Hmm.
everyone's like, okay, Noria dying in Witch from Mercury is just a copy of this a news death thing. And it's like, well, they did Noria, they did Elin pretty damn well. I gave
Hmm.
a fuck.
Yeah.
Lyle and Anu did really feel like it came out of nowhere. Just one day, she's in his bed, and they're talking like they've been at it forever. And then it's like, oh, I just don't feel anything for these characters.
I think I'll probably reach back to an old tagline I used back in season one, which is Gundam 00, come for the robot fights, stay for the geopolitics.
And nowhere in there did you mention the character relationships.
Stay for the geopolitics.
Yeah.
Next comment is from High Priest, also in response to the episode New Return, says, I was also always kind of disappointed that we had two gunshot then fade to black fakeouts in a row. Marina wasn't shot and Lasse is still alive. What do you think?
Don't really care. I mean, I'm sure I can understand where it's disappointing, but it's such a trope in general, not even in anime, to,
Mhm,
point my gun at you and aim at the sky, or, boom, shot you to the left of your head, or to the right of your head, or whatever.
mhm.
I'm not gonna shoot you. The gun is no threat at all.
They did have me in the first act at least once, where in the shack where all the kids and Marina are about to be shot by the authorities, and you just hear the gunshot, the fade to black, like the kids jumping in the way and everything. You're just like, oh no, someone here is dying.
Except that guy appears again later, not
Mhm.
dead. So even
Yeah.
that guy didn't die. The one standing in front of all the bullets.
I think maybe they could have worked with Marina dying though at that exact spot to just say like she's dead but her music lives on, and then like transfer that into like all the psychic shenanigans they do later.
Yeah, but then you're
Yeah,
talking
maybe could
about
have gone for
then
it
you're
though, yeah.
talking like Macross or God, what's the other one right around Macross? Robotech. You're talking about Macross or Robotech at that point, where it's all this person singing solved everyone's problems, or we all gathered together because of their singing. That's what all that shit is about. Look, I know it
Look, but
often
Relina
comes.
stepped on the stage, said war is bad, and then it was over.
I know it often comes across as though I'm not satisfied unless somebody dies, but death
It's
is
true.
just the ultimate measure of stakes, right? So
Mhm.
I typically use in my debates and arguments death as the example of the ultimate stake. But more often than not, that there are no stakes. Nobody loses anything, really.
Yeah.
And that's my ultimate complaint is that your show is what, say 30 to 40% fighting, but ultimately no the good guys never lose anything. And then
Yeah.
somebody was like, yeah, but somebody died here and they lost their shit here and they had to run away there, and it's like, okay, if we do the Indiana Jones thing, right? If they didn't exist with a story change, or the okay, let's compare them how they started the season to how they ended the season, or how they ended the show, and is there any difference? They're flying around in their ship full of Gundams, uh, trying to stop wars. The very first episode of the very first season. How did we end the season 2?
Right back where we started, but with a different geopolitical situation.
Right. So basically, no loss. No one's lost anything. We're good. If people are saying, "Yeah, what about half the people that died on the ship?" They replaced them pretty easily, and they're smiling at the end. So Lee didn't fucking care.
And our last comment here is from Log A Long in response to a new return. Well, the only innovators that think they are superior is just kind of Ribbons and the innovators he created. The other innovators, these are all in quotation marks, by the way, have been shown to have a superiority complex the entire time during every battle. I think Setsuna has been misunderstood again due to the manner of his speech. They knew of this group of innovators were committing mass genocide, so that's why they were fighting, even though both sides' methods would eventually see the Aeolus plan succeed. It's implied that Ribbons had control over his creations, be it force control through quantum brainwaves or medication brainwashing. Ribbon's eyes were glowing, yes. Since the Double O group is huge, they tried to give everyone an arc. Pierre's is blaming the innovators for twisting the world to the extent that led to the sun.
I guess here's ultimately my not my complaint. I guess my alternative stance to this comment
Mhm.
would be that Setsuna stands against Ribbons, according to this, because he's killing a lot of people, right? And ultimately, Setsuna's way of handling things and Ribbon's way of handling things, according to this, would be both reach Aeola's plans to succeed, right? But to me, that reads as though Setsuna is just the complaining guy in the back, right? I disagree with your plan. Oh, really, sir? What would you do to make things better? I don't know, but I am gonna fight you, though. It's
He's
like,
gonna be Gundam, that's his answer.
well, I'm
But
just saying, it's the person who takes no responsibility for making things better, but will fight the thing that's currently there. It's like, okay, right. You understand where I'm coming
well, they
from.
are rebels. Yeah, no, I know what you're meaning here.
Right, but that
Uh
rebels should still at least have a plan to what to do after they've finished the rebellion.
I think there is at least a slight plan. Aeolus' plan is just we need an innovator, we need innovators to be in control, and then we're going to use those innovators for the talks that'll come, whatever that's supposed to mean. It's aliens.
Okay,
But
it's just the
Ribbon's plan is just I'm just gonna conquer everything and it's just gonna be over. But of course, that of course implies all of his superiority rhetoric and genocide and stuff, which didn't get tapped on as much as I thought it was going to be. It seemed like an easy in, right?
Well, according to this, Ribbon's plan would have succeeded Aeoliola's plan. So,
Mhm.
but
And
my point being,
Setsuno's
my
or
point,
Celestial Beings was their original plan. Keep doing what they're doing.
well, my point being there is that Celestial Being from the start is interfering with the world government, right, to
Mhm.
prevent wars from happening or conflicts, say it in a more general sense. So, all they're doing is hurting governments in order to try and make them stop getting into conflicts, which
Mhm.
then creates the rise of what was it, the Earth Federation? I can't remember the thing it's
Yeah, the
called.
Federation.
The Federation, which has its A laws. Well, they're still not taking an active hand in politics, so they have no regard for that. They're just gonna keep fighting them though, which means that once the Federation crumbles, there's a new world government, and you know what they're doing? They're just going to keep fighting the conflicts and shit. No hand in politics, which means all we're doing is toppling governments, and we're not solving the problems. Sounds a lot like the U.S. Middle East plan, if you follow me there. The
A lot
Charlie
of
Wilson.
intervention, regime change, and hoping it works out for the
No,
best.
no,
Yeah,
no.
sure.
The whole Charlie Wilson thing, where he advocates for we topple these regimes here, and we we fight these people that we have to fight, and then he says, okay, now we need to start opening schools. We need to improve their health care system and whatnot. And the U.S. government says, no, that'll cost too much money. We've accomplished what we need to do. Now we're just gonna move out, and they're like, they're gonna resent us for what we did. This is gonna be a problem in the future. And there's like, there's no evidence of that. We're just gonna pull out. That is celestial being. We're just gonna fight the fights, and then we're gonna leave. Don't need to worry about building up a new government that believes in good ideals. We don't need to set up the peacecraft kingdom or anything. We
Mhm.
just need to fight the fights and leave.
This
The
is why any sort of like anti-government anarchist kind of deal needs to have dual power structures and mutual aid. Otherwise, yeah, you don't get anywhere. You need to actually be building communities and junk like that don't want to fight each other for resources forever.
yeah,
But again, that's not what the show is.
if all you do is show up and fight the people who on both sides think that they have a legitimate concern to be here to fight for, all you're going to do is build up resentment. And if you keep doing that across the entire globe, the whole world is just going to grow to hate you. And for some reason, people love Celestial Being in this show. So that is the more poignant bit of this doesn't make sense to me.
They're the heroes and the heroes win. That's what it comes down to.
I mean, you say that about shows like IBO as well, right? And it turns out the
Yeah.
heroes are not the heroes.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's just like a fault of us looking at it very critically and going, hold up a second, this is hypocritical. Wait a second, the characters literally just said that out loud.
It doesn't make
Uh,
sense. That's what I'm just getting at. It just doesn't make sense.
yeah, we're never really going to resolve any of the hypocrisy there because again, we're not. That's not what the show's
I
here
mean, maybe
for.
we could.
Apparently,
The movie could, right?
maybe.
If we pull a Evangelion, right? If the aliens like unite us
Hmm.
forcibly, right?
Yeah, let's talk about the movie here. So we left off the series with, like you said, everyone back where they started. We're on the Ptolemos,
Yeah, that
without
with
a
a
P,
P.
without a P. Well, Ptolemos P.
Did that before we
Everyone is
left.
there. All the mechs are there. Everyone's ready to go. They're in a happy position where they're not being hunted or anything. It seems. Um, and then the aliens are supposed to come, or at least we keep saying there's aliens. There's probably going to be aliens. We want aliens. What's that going to be or look like? I don't have the slightest idea now.
Well,
We've gone through all of this, and I'm just like, I don't know where the aliens
we
coming.
looked back at Jupiter. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. I guess we got to go to Jupiter. We got to like see some weird stuff. We get like a face hugger or something.
Well, no. Remember there was the exploration ship that was like in season one. We have
Uh-huh.
the black Haru with the or the purple Haru with the pink or red eyes was, and that's where the Team Trinity got their Haru from for some reason.
Mhm.
But apparently we had just like a ship just floating there for no reason, and then we never went back until that,
Mhm.
that scene at the end of season 2 that said the movie's coming out.
So I feel like this movie, what it needs to accomplish is to like genuinely show humanity uniting together in some way. Maybe not specifically against a threat, but to like finally put those conflicts aside. Because that's what all of Double O is kind of building to, right?
Well, I mean, the world already has a threat to be united against. It's called celestial being. That's putting down any ability for. I mean, it's basically like if you represent the world's ability to have conflict, that's
Mhm.
basically like an adult sitting on a child's hands, right? You have no ability to control your own fate anymore. You do what we tell you to do. That is the ultimate fascist authority, I think.
I would like to make a single bit of speculation. The only one that I think I can really make here, and that's what form the aliens are going to take. And my guess here is that the aliens have been the Harus all along. They're small, round creatures with red eyes.
I don't know. Remember, I already told you about Double OF, where you have Pokemon Haru.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly, they're alien technology. Nothing else in the series can do like the stuff that you've said over in our manga review. Everyone, go check out that series over there. But after you check out the movie.
well, I mean, then again, I don't know because there's some of them that are just little physical people that look the same as the
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon Haru. Like one is a projection from the Haru, and the other one is a physical person that looks exactly like the projection. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, I think I've already said like from the very beginning, like somewhere in season 1, I think I said that Aola probably just encountered the aliens, stole the tech, and that's why Celestial Being is so much more advanced than everybody else.
Aeola was a alien all along.
Well,
It's
no,
aliens.
I mean I don't think that. I think that he stole the tech and said, "Oh God, there's aliens out here. We better like unite humanity before the aliens come. Otherwise, they're gonna kill us." Like something about the aliens is like if we aren't united, it's gonna be easier to kill us. Like maybe they're like shape changers from Star Trek, right? Where if we don't like recognize ourselves, we'll never be able to recognize the shape changes in the mist or not it,
Hmm.
the thing. I was
Yeah.
in my head for some reason they're always mixed up. It and the thing. One's a clown and one's a shape changing infection. But yeah, I guess that's all I got is that Aola encountered the aliens, recognized a threat to humanity, maybe, and set up this whole plot to make humanity group together again so we'd be able to fight the aliens.
Mhm.
And to do that, he used the advanced technology that he stole from the aliens or whatever.
So I guess let's just go ahead and get into it. Get to the part that we've been waiting literally 2 seasons for. Aliens.
Almost a
But
year.
yeah, almost a year. But before we alien, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you watch more shows like this, uncensored and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can check it out over on the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but no pressure. It's all to support the channel, just a little bit extra.
Click the link down below. Join the Discord. Join us on our journey through Universal Century, which will be starting after this, starting with The Origin.
Space, the final frontier.
Watching it off a Blu-ray. It's funny how much Gundam I got through without ever seeing a Haru.
Yeah, kind of funny, really. I love the way they say laser sensor. It's perfect. Uh,
Now they have more advanced cloaking technology now. Oh, like we saw in the last thing that we watched.
yeah, yeah.
Revealed Chronicle. That one that had a cloak on it for some reason.
I guess it's like the end game of cloaking technology, really.
Well, we had commented nothing else could cloaked in the series, and here we are.
More direct evidence of it, anyway. I definitely appreciate a good spaceship docking scene.
Well, remember last time we saw them was they were evacuating from the asteroid base. So they hadn't actually gotten back together again on the show yet.
I know we just met again after a tragedy, but, nerd stuff.
Well, I mean, they're husband and wife, so assumedly they have the same interests. The only one not here is Felt, their daughter.
The final upgrade.
The Quant! I'm sure people would say, no, it's Quanti.
Go, music time.
Music for us. Maybe not so much for you two.
We're definitely starting out just jam session.
All these backgrounds could just be from Sympho Gear. You wouldn't know.
Definitely getting some slight alien imagery here.
I thought that planet just had growths. Okay, they went to Mongolia.
Yeah, they're hanging out.
No, that guy.
One more.
That guy's just hanging out.
Oh, you're right. We are going back to Jupiter.
Okay, we saw that already. Well, it looks like we're getting flower aliens.
Feels like a classic.
Uh-oh, the ship full of dead people is waking up.
I feel like the music here is like more fitting for like an older anime, but like with an updated genre, you know?
I don't know, this is technically an older anime.
I mean, even older.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's still more... I think you really need to go back and listen to some 80s soundtrack from anime back then, because it's still way better, or not better, it's still different. It's a lot different from 80s openings. Oh man, our subtitles gonna be all Comic Sans.
Oh gosh. Suddenly, Double O's a comedy. Oh, he's back.
Is this a dream? What the hell is happening? He can't be back. He's dead. He wouldn't even know about the A-laws. This is literally Alejandro versus Ribbons, somehow.
We brought in the big, cool golden ship, and it explodes instantly.
Yeah, there's no chance I'm reading these notes. That was a paragraph in 5 seconds. 2 seconds.
Just translate celestial being.
Are they like in a simulation chamber right now? Is that what's happening? Or did somebody turn their story into a movie and we're watching a movie in movie?
That would be absolutely hilarious.
Because they do all appear to be overacting. Gurren Lagann! My drill is the drill that creates the heavens!
It's so much more, like, vibrant for this. Like, it's way Power Rangers, I dig it.
I was right.
Oh my god, you were right.
I know my tropes.
No wonder it was all in Comic Sans.
Sumeragi's like, we need some funding. Let's open a movie company. Unironically, I wish I'd watched that movie, though. Also explains the Comic Sans, though, now that that's gone.
I think those were the movie advertisement GBs there.
彼らの行った武力介入は世界に変化をもたらし、緩やかだけど戦争のない世界へ向かっている。
Hey, Valerian.
だけどそれは多くの紛争に対して武力介入を行ったソレスタルビーイングと様々な弾圧行為を行った独立治安維持部隊アローズ。
That's right, the A-Laws were doing a better job than Celestial
武
Being
力
was.
による恐怖を植え付けたせいだ。
They were just being harsher about it.
今ある平和は忘れられない恐怖による仮初めの平和。
Hey,
Post-war
that's where the
stuff,
guy
sure.
worked that your sister got killed for
変わっ
interviewing.
ていく世界を見つめ、本当の平和を
Well, if you don't remember, that's where the train guy was.
Oh, yeah. And also back to where we were at the end as well.
このところ安定してるようだね。
発作も起きないし、そろそろ退院でもいいのに。
慌てないでルイス。時間はいくらでも。
I'll tell you this, I really did not recognize Saji until he said I wasn't in the movie, and it's like, oh, Saji would be the one not in the movie.
この2年間、
He changed his hair up a little
ソレスタルビーイングが
bit.
姿を現していない。セツナ、君は今どうしてる？
With the girlfriend, but still thinking of the boyfriend.
直接視察できないってどういうことです？
バフティアール議員、コロニーの開発はまだ初期段階で危険も多い。
Look, you built a super weapon into your last giant construction project. We're gonna investigate.
It's very fair to be worried.
コロニーに強制移住をさせられた人たち。彼らの中には本国への帰還を望む者もいるはず。
我々コロニー公社は連邦法に定められた通りの環境を作業員に与えております。
So let us see it.
高収入であるこの仕事をやめた
Oh god, this is the whole Middle Eastern
申し上げました。視察は
stadium construction project with all those people from India that weren't able to go back home.
Oh gosh, yeah.
マリナ姫。できれば作業員とその家族たちに面会をさせていただけませんか？私たちは彼らに直接話を聞いてみたいのです。
話をですか。
Tell them they're all
わかり
sick.
ました。では作業員宿舎への慰問を日程に組み込みましょう。
ありがとうございます。
Well, I mean, the thing to do would
では
they would like make a cleaned up section of people that are paid to say something, and you wouldn't
Yeah,
see
they're
the
little-
actual living conditions.
I think it's like a Potekman village or something. Putting up that exact front for a visit.
労働者を手放すわけにはいかん。何？ここは宇宙だ。 些細なことでも命取りになる。
Now they're already trying to kill
視
him.
察ルートから外れていない
Well, they're pulling like the mafia move, right? If Boucher if something were to
わ
happen.
ざわざ資源衛星に宿舎を作るどういうこと？
さあそこまでは。
あなたはこのコロニーの開発現場をどう捉えていますか？
連邦法の労働条件は満たしていますが、
あなたの言葉で話してもらえませんか？私は中東の民はもちろんですが、あなたにも幸せになってもらいたいのです。
家族が幸せであれば私も幸せです。
船長より乗客の皆様
He doesn't like
所属
it.
不明のモビルスーツが接近。念のためシートベルトの着用をお願いします。コロニー校舎のモビルスーツじゃないのか。おい。
Man, once Wing ended, Quattro got real hard.
New character?
No, I don't think so. I think it's more confusing why he's in a flag. It's pretty confusing why anybody's in a flag at this point.
Well, I mean, obviously, it's American made, and it's way better than, like, the solar reactor Gundams they got right there. How did you guys reach across the console?
Yeah, he's the reason that they dodged. What a jerk if he saved everyone's life.
あなた
Dropping all pretense, that's what I'm doing.
こんなことをしてこれであなたの家族は幸せになれるのですね。
Look, I literally already shot a guy. There's no chance for me anymore. Oh yeah, Setsuna? No, that's,
That's our Lyle.
I'm just really mixed up in my head. It's like, who smiles like that? Is that Hallelujah, or is that... Oh, I can't remember his name.
And here I thought we were getting Dark Setsuna. It's like, no, just Setsuna inside a flag. That's fine. Still a jerk.
I guess maybe they're updating the flags, because that looks a lot more high-tech than any flag we've seen before.
だからこそお互いに理解を深め最善の道を探したいのです。争うことではなく話し合うこと、分かり合うことで。それにしてもまさかソレスタルビーイングが活動を続けていたなんて。
Does Carthon not just exist anymore?
There's no need to rebel against everything if everything's fine, I guess? Shrug.
Maybe you should, like, I don't know, prepare in case everything's not actually fine. I'm confused. I thought you died. Oh, did she have green hair? Remember,
You're just thinking of another character.
my confusion was that I originally thought that she was Ian's daughter, so finding out that Felt was Ian's daughter has really messed me up.
新政権が立ち上がってまだ2年だ。小さな問題は俺たちの手で刈り取るしかない。
ガンダム出せば世界の抑止力になるです。
未来な政府が融和政策を推し
Can't
進め
wait
て
for
いる
people to correct me. Felt's not Ian's daughter. Melidio's Felt's daughter. I mean, too many relationships in this fucking show.
At least I think I appreciate their logic here. It's like, let's just keep a low profile, we don't gotta do much, everything seems to be going fine.
探査船の撤去作業。
どこから来たかわかる？
はい
Can you figure out where I came from?
木星です。
その船の詳細
That was a
わ
typo.
かるか？
They didn't say it. They said I.
Yeah, just a
やってみ
whoopsie.
ます。
何か気になるのか。
分かり次第教えてくれ。
Somebody tell me when we changed uniforms?
セイエイさん、最近謎めいてます。
イオリア・シュヘンベルグが提唱した
Lately. Only lately.
俺たちにはわからない何かを感じているのかもな。
Oh, that thing's still there. They didn't do anything with it.
What are they gonna do? Explode it? It's supposed to be a colony ship, right?
Yeah. They could load it with people and colonize something.
I guess they did have a big fight around it. It's been 2 years, so maybe it needed repairs.
哨戒艦隊から地球圏に接近してくる探査船の調査報告が届きました。船籍番号9374、船名エウロパ。130年ほど前に木星探査に向かった船のようです。
内部の様子は生体反応ありません。
哨戒艦隊に通達。プラン D34 で粒子ミサイル攻撃。探査船の軌道を変えよ。
了解。
あとは頼む。
お。
大佐。
Certainly not an instigating incident at all, no?
Well, I guess we're not boarding it to investigate. We're just like, load up the missiles. Send it out of here.
Nobody's on it, it just randomly coming back, get rid of it.
This also has to be a high conflict of interest. You know you two are married. You should not have the same posting.
Look, if Spirinov could have his wife out on the field commanding her specifically,
Also a
we've
conflict of
already
interest.
violated that rule.
現状でこの船の状況把握率は 70% といったところです。
Oh, they've just been rolling through it, I get it.
なんすかこれ。
量子型演算処理システムベータです。
へえ。
What about the ghost inside of it?
同じ顔してるぞ。
彼らはベーダの生体端末イノベイドです。
イノベイド？
ベーダはイノベイドたちを通じて世界中の情報を蓄積、それらを統括し管理しているのです。施設武装組織
See, I don't know how to parse this with what I know about Hanyo from OOF, which was also a living terminal and didn't look like them at all.
There's definitely like a little bit of not fully explained technology here, but we've seen enough of it. We're used to it.
ポイント到着とともにプラン D34 による粒子ミサイル攻撃を開始する。
こちらです。
哨戒艦隊より通信。ポイント到達。ミサイル発射準備完了しました。
You think Veda would be popping up with information?
機関か。ベーダによって確認された純粋種のイノベーターというのは。
何を黙ってる。大佐に挨拶をしろ。
順調だ。
すみません。
デカルト・シャーマン対イノベーターだと言われています。
生意気だな。
モルモット扱いされ続ければ心も腐ります。
イノベーターって何
I
です
feel
か？
like you could get your head out of that.
報告書とか読む。
It's like a strap, couple of straps, and then a metal piece.
単純
You
に
get your head through the straps part.
人類です。状況把握力、空間認識力、能量視波の増大、細胞変化による肉体強化。理論的には常人の倍に等しい寿命があると考えられます。
Oh, hey, that's new info.
GN 粒子散布領域内では能量視波による意識共有すら可能です。
さっぱりわからない。
イノベーターの出現はイオリアの計画に入っていたと思うか。
試験ですが。
Look, nobody's gonna live twice as long as Patrick Lasseur. That man will live forever.
前段目標に命中。
了解した。探査船の軌道変更率を確認して。
失敗ですよ。
どうしてわかる？
理屈なんかありはしません。あるんですよ。そうだという確信がね。
報告。探査船
The
の軌
era
道
of
変
new
更率
types has
想
begun.
定の2割にも達していません。
まさか。
以前地球圏への到達コースに乗っています。
十分なほどの粒子ミサイルを放ったはずだ。 何をしているんだ。
行きますよ。
機関。
イノベーター
You're tied down to the chair. Where are you
じゃ
going?
ないんですか。もちろんあなたの希望通り新型で
Well, I mean, he's supposed to be like superhuman, right?
貴様。
So
Yeah, yeah.
思考。
モルモットですから。
So, I think in the manga you said, like, they had a character who was basically in sort of the same situation. Is it that character?
no,
Okay.
no, you couldn't get more 80s edgy than that guy, so you would recognize him.
I don't know, this new guy seems pretty edgy to me.
いえ、それ以上の戦果を上げてくれますよ。シャーマン隊員なら。
Then remember, he had a throat bomb detonate around his neck, so
Yeah, it's like as soon as they showed, like, the neck collar, I'm just immediately like, oh, callback?
I mean, maybe. But who would it be a reference for, right?
People who consume everything over 10 years.
Oh, I just mean anyone who read the manga already knows that character, so it's like, what are you referring to and for what?
It's like there's no way that wave of missiles doesn't destroy a single probe, right?
We built it too well. Unfortunately, this is the show where they're the least effective.
And yet, the theme is pretty rocking.
Okay, you're in the wrong show. You should be in G Gundam.
Never mind, the shield bits have an upgrade here.
No, they just don't have anybody shooting back at them. How effective is a weapon against a thing that's not fighting back? I imagine that the alien thing is just on the inside of it, pushing it in the direction it needs to go. So you're basically, it's, all this is just destroying the shell around it. Now we're gonna see the alien. No, once again, that's the power of something that's not fighting back.
I guess we've still at least established what it's capable of.
いかがです？
なるほど。軍がシャーマン大尉に期待する理由はわかる。ならば、大尉待遇はしてやれ。
了解しました。
He has no intention of doing so.
And now the aliens fall to Earth. Oh, there was one there that was even glowing oddly, like a retro sci-fi movie. Once again, people are not able to think dynamically. Sending forces what the old administration would have done. You know, if it's the right call, it doesn't matter who's doing it, you should still do it.
ことを急げば歪みも大きくなるわ。ソレスタルビーイングの時のようにね。
軍が地球圏に向かっていた探査船の排除に成功したようです。若干の破片が地上に落ちたようですが、報告によるとデカルト・シャーマン隊員の戦果であったと。
See, this is the world. This is the world where Blockbuster didn't close. It's only a Blockbuster not closing would hair colors of all varieties be allowed in any workplace.
I do feel it's slightly refreshing to just be back in the office of some bigwig in political power.
Well, yeah, because that was the most biting part about the second season of Gundam Double, is that we're still focused on the politics, just without any of the politicians. On Zip's face, reptile beneath.
I will say this is definitely like the most interesting part of any sort of like superhero universe to me in particular, which is like the point where everything changes from normal to everyone having superpowers. And they're just trying to figure out how to deal with it.
確かに
Our
あの
super
状況で
genius
燃え尽
from
きるのは
last
不思議
time.
に思ったけどどうして君がそのことに
Well, remember though, we're not even in normalcy anymore. Since we left the last episode of the show, a new government, worldwide government has formed, and it's like still trying to establish itself. So, we're still in the things are still a bit weird phase.
Mm-hmm.
Hercules, is that you?
No, he's dead. This is just some random alien dude.
I don't think he's an alien. Maybe he will be.
And more specifically, he's just a meteor hunter, but I was just mocking him. He's got photos and everything.
Well, he's about to have photos. I mean, he could be turning into an alien, because this is like the first infection of an alien thing, right?
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for someone to like hop out and take control.
Do the aliens just control machines? Is that what's going on?
They're just psychic spirits that control machines. Yeah, I guess so. Oh gosh.
Would you drive over the other car? What happened here?
So, does anyone own these boats?
Something sawed its way through half of the boats.
I guess they're like invisible entities right now. That's what I'm thinking.
I want to think that they're like just tiny. That's Final Destination shit right there.
Yeah, gosh. Well, we're definitely hiding the
Oh, that
tension here
guy's
now.
dead. That fucking guy. I don't think there's like invisible aliens. I think they're like they've particulated into the atmosphere and they're just controlling shit.
Hmm.
ルイスがすみません給与が
またかよ
本当にすみません
I don't even know what your job was there.
He has an engineering degree. He talked about it before.
He doesn't tell me what his job is, Griff.
Just doing office work.
He wasn't in an office. He was on the outside of a building in a moving thing because it was saying what floor they were on a readout. Those monsters.
Okay, now they're monsters.
Well, now it's more than technology. That was a fucking door handle.
What?
What was his name, Griff?
I don't know right now.
Sorry, I was... Different joke, sorry. I was getting Ribbon's name mixed up with a news name. It's a new Returner. I was like, oh shit. Ribbon's last name isn't Returner.
Still, ghost astronauts. Hell yeah.
宇宙物理学者としての君の意見を聞かせてくれ。なぜこの破片が大気圏で燃え尽きず地上へ落下したのか。
おそらく探査船の質量が原因だろうね。
Workplace sexism.
探査船が軌道を大きく変えなかったり。
Oh, I thought that was Sumeragi for a second.
つまり
That was too.
我々が想像できないほどの質量、重さを有して。
I guess Billy has a type.
I mean, to be fair, it's not a bad type to have.
破片を分析しましたが、微量の宇宙放射線が検出されただけで、組成構造ともにこれといった特徴はありません。
Yes, it's my own hair.
それは興味深い結果だね。
でもねビリー回収された破片は落下した全体の2割にも満たないの。
何者かが持ち去ったと考えるべきでしょうね。現に軍の回収班に被害があったわけですし。
それ以外に2つほど理由が考えられる。 破片が自然消滅したか
I don't know.
それとも
They need someone like me on the team, Griff. I come up with so many possibilities of what went wrong.
さすがだわビリーこれを見て
I mean, their first idea was just some thieves, which makes
そ
sense.
してこれが破片が落下してから起こった不可解な事件の発生箇所よ
この近さは破片が移動していると仮定して一体どこへ向かっている
仮説はあるんだけど立証するのに協力してくれないビリー
何をすればいい
連邦政府の極秘資料能量支波の高い
Of course, why not, right?
This feels like very dangerous info to give away to anybody.
地上に降りる地上に落ちた破片が能量支波の高い人間を襲ってるって情報本気で信じるのか
ベーダからの確定情報です。
本当なら仲間にも危険が及ぶ。
ミレイナ
I mean, if it's true, Veda itself should be in high danger, right?
小型艇を
I mean, not because of the shit that fell to Earth, but
付き合うぜ
if it's going after people with quantum brainwaves, then we know that Veda's insides are filled with people, as we saw in that one conversation. They
Well, it's a
are
good
in
thing it has-
Mongolia! I fucking called it, they are in Mongolia!
なんだか妙な胸騒ぎが
I said a random place that I thought her outfit and the scenery matched. God damn it, I am on the ball today.
道も悪くない
They're about to be involved in a horror story here. This is a setup.
Well, I mean, they're both quantum wave people, so
変電施設がなくなっている
if these things are moving towards quantum wave people, they're obviously in danger as they're together. Uh-oh, they're controlling the sliding glass doors.
Oh yeah, horror story.
Not really a horror story.
We're in the override universe.
You mean the Maximum Overdrive universe?
Yeah, maximum overdrive.
I don't know, I prefer trucks. Trucks had good guy machines and bad guy machines. Like the helicopter that comes to save them, they go to the front, and there's no one flying the helicopter. But the, you know, the headsets that say, "Don't worry, everything's gonna be okay."
順調に回復へと向かっていたのですが、ここ数日は症状がぶり返しています。原因に心当たりは？
すみません僕には
Gosh, this is almost too real. Like, Louis just struggling with PTSD like 2 years after everything still. I just feel bad for her.
When did she turn into an innovator, though?
End of season 2.
Somewhere between season 2 and the movie?
Back when Ribbons was talking to her.
Somewhere in the last 2 years.
No, the ghost are after her.
おい
Hit him with a chair! Damn right!
He read your mind.
Look, I know what you do in these situations. I don't know why everyone's passed out, though.
Alright, so, amusing thing here. Saji is not passed out. Everyone else is.
Well, we don't
He's
know
also
why.
an innovator.
We don't know why everyone else is passed out, though.
Because they're not innovators.
Well, no, Saji's eyes haven't glowed. Oh, come on, the chair didn't take you out? Don't no-sell this. Throw your body at him.
説だ
今のは威嚇だ。今度は当てる。
I love that it's telling that the person that Setsuna goes to try to protect
Ribbons.
is Saji.
So it was Ribbons, I was right before. Just got his last name wrong.